And I'm actually really impressed by the Janna ban by TPA, because if they're planning on first picking Lee Sin, TSM would have taken Janna on the next round of picks, so that's a nice preemptive ban.
Definitely very targeted to start things off here. Team Solomid hoping to get a repeat performance coming into this one, and so far the bottom lane will not see that.
You can see, though, that Janna ban threw TSM for a loop because it completely messed up their strategy here.
Absolutely, definitely slowed things down. There's a Zillion ban coming out, Rumble banned out. Hello, Dyrus getting himself a target. Actually, you saw his face. He didn't look happy with that. I think he wanted to play Rumble. He's like, damn, I've been working on this. And it worked so well for him last time against TPA.
It was. He brought it out of his pocket from the past, basically. He was a Rumble player way back in Season 3 and had just recently returned it. I love the fact that TPA is using these bans basically just to target out the stuff that TSM has succeeded on. And of course, TSM has to change their strategy here. They give them the opportunity to pick Nidalee. They don't even go for it, which means they can get the Lee Sin, which is really smart here by TSM.
Very nicely done, taking that away from Wins. Just too much pressure from him in the early game on that, and the map pressure he can create. We'll see if TSM, like Loco Doko said, they can keep up that warding game. Amazing was the guy to begin that and keep it flowing for the team.
And it's actually smart banning from, honestly, both sides, because they've clearly done the homework. Neither Dyrus or Achie plays Nidalee in that top lane. So,
right.
You know, they looked at all, I should say they haven't played it in the past. I'm sure they've played it at some point, but to what success, who knows? But it hasn't happened in a pro match so far. Dyrus waiting for the final lock-in for TSM. The Lee Sin, as you mentioned, taking that away from Wins. Wins gets that triple kill on that just the other day. Fantastic performance by him.
And quite honestly, Wins hasn't really looked good if he's not playing Lee Sin. A very important pick, and we have to... Whoa!
Whoa!
All right, so...
Wow.
They immediately just go for the synergy between Maokai and Yasuo. However, when you see teams lock both of their solo lanes in blind, I rarely see it work. I feel like it completely telegraphs your total team strategy, and it will be up to TSM to build around that right now. They get to pick whatever they want for the rest of this.
Definitely protect the AD carry there. Morning, once again, only one play in the regular season on Yasuo, goes for it with the synergy on the team, and we're going to get what looks like to be a bloodbath out of these guys for now. The Twitch coming in for bebe, and wow, this is a nice and fast champion select.
TPA was absolutely ready for this, from the target bans to the immediate pivot when the Lucian was banned away as well. The first pick, Maokai, we'll see how that works against the Lulu. TPA's definitely crafted a full team composition here with remarkable teamfight potential if they can make it out of the laning phase.
Yeah, clash of Korean coaches between these two teams. Of course, they played each other yesterday. They've had a night to delve through all the information, figure out exactly why TSM was so strong yesterday. And TPA seemingly have formulated a strong plan here. Of course, there's a lot of damage from the Yasuo Twitch combo if they can get it working. TSM reacting with a fair bit of defense. They need some damage from Bjergsen. Is it going to be the Syndra, or will it be the Orianna? Orianna would make sense. But it's a very defensive team from TSM.
Here's the thing, if they end up going with the Orianna. It will be very close, not a full protect the AD carry comp, but very close to their protect the AD carry comp with the Orianna and the Lulu to help WildTurtle's Tristana. And since TPA is generally a slower team finishing out the games, this is actually something Deficio and I were thinking that TSM was maybe going to do yesterday, since the game will go long. If they can get to late game with a death ball type strategy, buffing up the Tristana, it would be a good thing for TSM to do, and they've defaulted back to this one on the red side.
So far, Team Solomid's bottom lane has been considered somewhat of a liability, so the swap they've possibly gone through here, we saw the hesitation in Champion Select to now create this team. We'll have to see if it works out for them and they can get to that late game.
Well, speaking of swaps, will they lane swap? That's the question. We haven't seen too many lane swaps so far throughout this tournament. I'm trying to think if we've actually seen any.
We've definitely seen a few lane swaps coming through. SK wasn't trying to do them that much.
Yeah, they purposely avoided it.
They purposely weren't getting it. There's a few teams that have been able to pull it. It's actually been in a lot of TPA's games. They've been successfully able to do lane swaps. And they often get fast pushed against when that happens.
Well, we'll have to see what they can do if they do get fast pushed. We know that TSM was up in gold by 5,000 at 15 minutes in this previous matchup. They took a hold of the game and they did not let go. So TPA is going to have to stave that off from happening right away.
Well, they're going to absolutely need this entire home crowd. They've been very loud in the previous matchup, and, you know, they're still all here. Everybody will be cheering on TPA because these two teams are preparing to square off against each other. Let us know who you think will win this one. Tweet us at LOL Esports using the hashtag TPA win or hashtag TSM win, and we'll be showing the results as this game gets underway. What do we think, gentlemen? Can TSM close out that first quarterfinal spot, the first time that they actually get out of groups at Worlds?
Absolutely. They have a chance of doing it. That's what I'm going to say. We can't call it yet. The team comps are very interesting in this one.
The chance is definitely still there. People have said things have changed for Team Solomid since the boot camp in Korea, and so far they are showing results here. We are on to the Rift. Taipei Assassins versus Team Solomid.
I just want to get my quick point in that I am aware in Season 2 that TSM were in quarterfinals. They didn't have a groups to get out of. They didn't get out of groups in Season 3.
Safe.
It looked like in the 2014 season, it is a strong possibility. Here we go. The crowd are very much behind.
Just listen to this.
Not a TSM chant anymore, that's for sure.
Hey, we've had American fans chanting TPA when they won the World Finals back in Season 2. They are definitely a worldwide known team. bebe, of course, experienced that. Dyrus was in that tournament as well.
Dyrus, that's one thing that I always like hearing from Dyrus is how humble he is after these matches. And he says, I've learned so much from the likes of Impact, from the likes of Shy and Flame, and playing these guys in the top lane. And you know what? He's been showing up as well. We remember Bjergsen saying, you're getting your picks. Don't feel pressured in these games to perform. But he has been, and he's been doing it consistently without going a little too overboard.
The thing with Dyrus is he's super consistent until he has an absolutely awful game. And in the Royal Club game, he was really bad. When he starts falling behind, he can go way behind. I think it was 1-7 in that game. He has to avoid that. If he does, it seems like TSM is really crisp at executing their strategy. At least that's what we've seen thus far in the World Finals here.
We'll see how it works out. Doesn't look like we're going to have any lane swaps, so TPA, J and bebe down in this bottom lane will be facing off against WildTurtle and Lustboy on Tristana and Braum. We'll see how this one lays out. We haven't seen a great deal of Braum throughout this tournament, honestly. It's all been about Janna. Everyone's been so focused on it. We'll see how Jay's Thresh is.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Nami and Janna both banned away by TPA, forcing a very melee-centric support matchup. Also, we normally see Twitch's lane swap away, so if Lustboy and WildTurtle can actually turn on their aggressiveness, they might be able to make something happen in this lane. However, they haven't been playing aggressive. We look at Lustboy's rune pages when we've been checking them out. He runs more defensive rune pages than almost every other support here in the World Championship group stage. This would be the time to get aggressive, though, against a Twitch early on.
Explosive shot taken by WildTurtle, so they do get a fast push on that lane. They're going to be hitting up that level 2, keeping bebe and Jay away from the farm here. Great job by Lustboy, playing a little bit more aggressive, making sure he gets a few marks on to give the harass out.
Keep an eye on the mid lane as well. We'll see how that one works out early on for Morning and Bjergsen. Of course, Bjergsen has been the aggressor in the past, but now Morning, we only had one showing on Yasuo throughout the GPL, so we'll see how this has been picked up. It's seemingly anyone that's picked up Yasuo lately has absolutely been practicing hard, and it has worked very well for him. But Bjergsen or Orianna, going to be a different Bjergsen this game. It's going to slow him down, I think. He's normally very aggressive, but this time he's going to have to start off very passive.
Getting pushed up to his turret a little bit. Morning knows everything that an Orianna is going to bring to the table. We saw that earlier as well. He has some fantastic play, and I feel like Bjergsen could easily miss a few of those shockwaves with the right dash Morning puts under the table.
Missing a couple of CS there, so pressure already on him.
Right.
He's managed to squeak in, so Morning already stealing the advantage. This top lane, of course, Dyrus is going to be lacking in the damage as this lane progresses. I expect Achie to be bullying him a bit, but both of these really running different game. Obviously, Dyrus being there very much the utility man, and Achie all about getting in their faces as a tank.
And if we look early on in this lane, Dyrus will definitely have an edge. As soon as he gets a few extra points in Glitterlands, he will be able to control most of what Achie is doing. However, I don't really expect the junglers to be paying much attention to that lane early on, since it is a fairly utility-centric matchup. Instead, I'd expect attention to be paid in the bottom lane.
Very nicely played there. Pink wards being picked up by Wins as well on the way out. We saw that ping come from Morning, saying amazing, covering the top side of the jungle. We'll see if there's any response from that from the jungler, or Wins rather, on that side. Still pushing up in this bottom lane. Not an advantage to anybody just yet, but TSM where they want to be.
Yeah, we have to pay attention to the jungle pathing here. Wins obviously went back to base a little bit early to get the Spirit Stone and the extra wards. And Amazing was actually up there to maybe hope to hatch a counter gank. It was a little bit of wasted time. You can see he's now gone with the ward control as well. But Wins has beaten him to the punch a little bit here, being the first person to get deep wards and get insight into the enemy jungle path.
Definitely a different focus of a game for him. We can remember this last matchup trying to come out on Rengar before having everything stacked up. Now he's trying to make the plays with vision and shut that down on Team Solomid side. Good wards deep in the jungle already, hopefully to pay off for TPA soon.
Yeah, good reactions from Wins there. Realized that he was spotted and didn't waste any time hanging around. He just goes straight back to his golem camp down the bottom. With that vision, of course, does give Amazing a little bit of new information. He's heading in. He's going straight for the counter jungle into Wolves.
Right, so it's just a matter of intel back and forth between these two junglers. Obviously, the first team to collapse will probably have an edge when we see a counter jungle right here, but it's a match of wits. Amazing on Lee Sin has been much more effective than Wins on KhaZix so far in the group stage, and he has landed some nice counter jungling, something Wins didn't do when he went into Amazing's jungle.
Right, and Amazing picking up the longsword as well, ready to find Wins and get that fight underway as he did pick up the stone. He'll know that Amazing was here just a little bit ago, so he also has to watch his back. Achie backing in the top lane with no mana, so Dyrus is getting what he wants so far and a nice 16 CS lead.
That honestly wasn't a very smart Sonic Wave there by Amazing because it let TPA know where he was. He ends up having to burn his Trinket Ward and also can't defend that pink. All that could have been avoided if he just didn't give away his position.
Yeah, one Q, that's all he had to wait. Just delay for a moment, but good reactions from TPA, making use of that knowledge and counteracting quickly. There is some very good warding from both teams at the moment, catching each other's jungle paths. I'm just wondering, with so much invested in and around that blue buff area, whether TPA are fancying something here. The blue buff will be spawning in around about 30 seconds time, so we'll see whether Wins decides to make his path towards them.
Yeah, he pinged it when they placed the ward. However, the timing would have to work out just right. They can't really jockey themselves into position, at least from a bottom lane perspective, to get there, because they do not hold the edge in that bottom lane. Oh, Bjergsen with a nice dodge.
Morning gets... Whoa! Oh, wow, yeah, because he misses the last Q. He does not get his last breath, so Bjergsen tries to hit him up on the shockwave. Both trade a good bit of damage there. Have to back off.
Well, that immediately shuts down any play they were thinking of going for that blue, of course. Red and blue now spawning. It will be Wins taking that one away. He won't give this one across, so it's going to give him a slight edge in terms of farm against Amazing. Amazing himself will confirm and take that red buff as well. So, top lane, as you mentioned, Jat, 66 to 49. This is how we were expecting this to develop. Scene's almost completed by Dyrus, but looking strong, bit of bullying, and Achie's been delayed in his build towards that Rod of Ages.
He really has been fairly heavily pressured by Dyrus. And games that are this even in the laning phase are often decided by jungle pathing and finding the right group. That's a nice ult in the mid lane, though. Let's see how much damage you can do to Bjergsen.
Last breath coming in. That was not used last time, so Morning tried to come out immediately and act on that.
So the reason I say that is when Wins had the ward on the blue buff, even though it didn't see the respawning of that blue buff, it did show that it hadn't spawned at 720, which told them that Amazing was most likely clearing his red, knowing the overall jungle path. But if they keep making plays in lane, it won't matter.
In, but he's going to get out. That's clean. Good jump away there. But BB and J already showing, now that they're both in level 6, just ahead of Lustboy, that they're not afraid to make those plays in this bottom lane.
Not afraid to make plays at all. TPA keeping some good wards out. Now TSM's trying to bring that game back into play here. We see Morning doing what he can, picking up wolves, knowing there's nothing to fight in the mid lane, so he's trying to keep himself going. Whoa, the flash Glacial Fissure coming in, but it's just going to be a dark passage to the light.
I really have to question that flash right there from Lustboy. I understand the concept of getting aggressive, but unless they know that Jay is out of position, they're going to burn nothing on the opponent's side. Look what Lustboy just burned for some harass on BB and the Lantern of Jay. BB should be going back to base. If they can pull a dragon off that, it's worth it. But BB could have shopped. He didn't, and in retrospect, it may give TSM this opportunity.
Well, it's going to be tricky We do see Bjergsen is a little far away. He's going to be split between him. Morning and Wins on the side here. I think this should be secure, but it looks like Wins fancies jumping in. He's got flash available if he wants to try and jump flash, smite, and get out of there. They're going for it. They're going to jump in.
And it's amazing. Gonna go taking down bebe. Beautiful first blood coming in. WildTurtle's trying to get out of this one alive. No teleports have come in yet, but it would only be Dyrus if it happened. He wild growths himself, and it's a one-on-one in the top lane.
You can see Achie is in all sorts of trouble. Dyrus may have enough here. Flashes away. The Glitter Lance catches. Dyrus has got no mana left, though. He can't finish the job, and he will get away safe. It's TPA. They delayed enough. Nobody took the dragon at the end there, and it goes 1-on-1.
Yeah, they are just throwing haymakers right now in that Dragon Pit. It was a risky move by TSM and a late recall by bebe, but at the end of the day, it's just a trade of kills right there. I would give that edge, though, to TPA because it was TSM who spent the extra time on Dragon and the mid laner who got first blood, but if he gives it right back.
Oh, he locked it down. Very nicely done. The blue buff giving a little help on the movement command.
That's what Bjergsen needed to do. I mean, getting the kill right back, shutting him down. Now they can try again at Dragon. Who knows, though? That last time didn't go too great because... So this evolved W from Wins was doing wonders harassing last time. He's not willing to make in position for it this time.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to go in. Happy to give this one up. So TSM get themselves the gold lead, really down to Bjergsen's quick reactive play in that mid lane.
He just straight up killed him.
Shockwave just completely caught him off guard, and Morning, I don't think he was quite expecting so much damage and just discounted that one. Completely caught off guard, almost on his own tower. So, TSM pushing the advantage. We'll see whether they can shove anything else from this one. I think the wave's going to be let to crash against the tower as the minions will get cleared out because bebe was away taking the golems. And that does mean WildTurtle can go back and buy. He'd already got the BF sword and the Avarice blade. We'll see what he comes back with. Oh, they cancelled.
You know, oh, this could be bad for Dyrus.
He's got a long way to run here.
He's also getting pinched in on both sides. Amazing's going to be there for a bit of help and provide some vision. The Wild Growth comes in. Are they really going to fight this? The follow-up from TPA. Oh, no. Amazing goes down. He just comes out of the base.
A little bit too far right there. I saw the idea of what Amazing was trying to do. He was thinking Morning was going to go in for an ult on Dyrus and he was going to try and kick him into the turret afterwards, but they held off on their aggression. Dyrus burned his ultimate before the target had been acquired by TPA. They quickly switched targets, bursted down Amazing, easy kill.
Yeah, I think they just didn't realize there was 3 people. They're like going in, it's like, it's all right, it's 2. We can get him in the turret. No, wait a minute, there's a 3rd. This is not going good. Let's get the hell out of there.
Because of all the focus that TSM had been putting on Dragon, ward control on that top side and the mid side of the map had definitely fallen off. It's definitely a smart move there by TPA. When you know the opponent is focusing one side of the map, even if they don't have knowledge that there's no wards, they can surmise it. They can use their instinct. They made a play on the opposite side of the map that they had just been played on, and they're able to come up with a positive play.
And TPA remembering the 13-minute mark, an ace across the map for Team Solomid, and it looked like it was coming back to fruition. They had the item spikes, but a great play by TPA to shut down some top lane focus.
Buffs going back. TSM and TPA, both junglers collecting those. Bottom lane's taking a lot of pressure. We have quickly been flitting down there and seeing the WildTurtle has almost taken down that bottom turret. bebe and Jay keep backing off, keep taking them golems, but every time TSM shove that wave in and get an extra couple of shots, we're going to see WildTurtle coming in once again. Got to be careful of those hooks, but he will get a couple of free shots. Again, spots out Jay, goes for that play and quickly steps back.
To Turtle and Lustboy's credit, they have played farther up in this lane than they have the entire group stage. Obviously, it's somewhat champion-specific because Tristana does have that capability to shove, but there's been so many other TSM games I watched where Turtle's just trying to last in a turret the entire game. To be able to actually stay shoved up and not suffer casualties outside of that dragon fight is an accomplishment to what has been TSM's biggest weakness in this World Championship.
Definitely something they wanted and a reason for a first pick as well.
Oh, both junglers making an appearance in this bottom lane, and talking about being shoved up, TSM don't have vision of that tri-bush, and now neither do TPA because their ward has just one off. There's a sneaky ward that will spot Wins right now.
Good ward.
And Amazing is just waiting off the side. Wins is going to come around the side. and he's going to go straight into a TSM trap.
So they do have the double buff advantage if they were to actually have the fight here.
Both
However, it really just has to do with who could get the first jump. Amazing, though, has yet to be spotted. He made it all the way into this brush. TPA may also be playing with that false sense of security, knowing their jungler was just here, even though he's gone now.
Slowly backing off. They're going to try to play my games with what they have going on. Fog of War hidden by Jay. That's not going to be wins that can take a dark passage. He's in the top side. Achie getting a little trouble here from Dyrus. Thinks he's in range. Dyrus only focusing on the turret, though. And now he can turn tide and start cutting down the tree.
Wins is coming in, though. He's going to join this party, and that's going to cause trouble for Dyrus. He's going to have to speed himself up. Can he get away? He looks like he's safe. Yes, Glitterlands works out well. And now they know that Wins isn't down the bottom, while Turtle takes the bottom turret. Suddenly, 2 turrets go TSM's way.
Some awesome jukes there by Dyrus to pull off a nice individual outplay to give TSM yet another team advantage. That has happened in a couple lanes here. Look at this. They shoved the bottom lane, took the turret. Dyrus won the 1v1 matchup up top, and Bjergsen got a solo kill. The way TSM is winning this game is only slightly related to strategy. It's mainly related around their individual skill. This is kind of how they beat TPA last time as well, was through individual outplays, culminating in a team advantage.
It's definitely coming together for them very early in these games, and a lot of teams are having trouble stopping it. Just a 2,000 gold lead right now, and they're able to be quite omnipresent on the map. Amazing, making sure he is involved in just about everything that's going on. We're going to see now pressure towards the mid lane. That bottom turret has fallen. So Lustboy's going to be just Braum.
Now TSM all grouping up here for this one. We'll see where the TPA reacts. Of course, Static Shiv on Morning will give him a little bit of clearance, but he's got to be so careful. That ball keeps just edging closer to him. WildTurtle gets a good chunk of damage down, and TSM slowly back away. 45 seconds on that Dragon. That is the next objective.
We saw Achie coming down for what could have been a last breath from Morning, just missing on the outside. He's forced to go walk back up and farm against Dyrus once again. Amazing, waiting on the side here. Not going to get anything.
And what happens with this next Dragon will have a massive impact on this entire group stage, honestly. If TSM wins this, they are out of the group and they eliminate TPA. But TPA is in a position where they may lose control of this game. They have already lost the 2 outer turrets. If they lose control of the middle of the map and give up this next Dragon, the gold lead may become insurmountable. It is absolutely paramount that TPA win this next fight.
And look at the straight-up aggression from TSM there. Lustboy amazing. They know they've got the support and they can collapse. TPA with 4 members all clustered there, and they do back away. Meanwhile, while this is all happening, Achie is under serious pressure from Dyrus in that top lane, which is what's keeping them busy, so he can't even get involved because Dyrus will simply push down that turret. TSM want a straight-up 4-on-4 here, and TPA really need to find the exact opportunity to go for Morning.
Needlessly large rod on Dyrus in the top. Those two can absolutely keep each other there with the teleports that can come down. bebe not liking the damage he's taking right now.
That is really bad for TPA, having their shock collar getting chunked out so quickly by TSM. Poke is very important leading into this one, whether it's from KhaZix or from Orianna. TSM definitely has the poke advantage before the fights, and very good walls and shields, basically, if TPA is to jump into them. So if TSM can actually poke, it makes it near impossible for TPA to actually fight.
And this is something we saw from TPA as well yesterday. When they start to lose control of the game, they'll still place their pink wards a little too far and leave them, and then they just die. Not too much help comes from that. TSM picks up a few more for themselves and gain control over Dragon.
Right now, with Achie in the top lane on Maokai, he does have his teleport up, and Dyrus is not there. If TPA wants to go, they pretty much have to go now. TSM is using that death ball, trying to ball up and go.
They're going straight in. Jay's going to be the target. Amazing gets on towards him. Doesn't quite get the kickoff, but it doesn't matter. The kill is there. The rest of TPA are collapsing, and TSM are low on hit points here. Can they get the right target? They cannot. And bebe and co are having to back away. Achie pulled in. Shockwave pulled. Dyrus goes for the kill.
That was TSM making the fastest decision I've seen them make in quite a while. That they never would have made that play during the North American season, but that's how much they've been training and how much they've improved. As soon as they saw that teleport, they went to the other side, never let TPA find the grouped up fight. They were the ones who grouped up, and they gained control.
See, Dyrus will be able to teleport to top lane. Good control on the waves here. Coming in for TSM. 2 of 2 Dragons, 19 minutes into the game. A little bit longer than 15 minutes, but they got their 5,000 gold lead.
Absolutely. The one thing TSM needs to be careful of, which we're there. Dyrus going straight in, finds Jay, puts the glitter lance down. The rest of TSM close the gap. They're going to get the stun down on him. Jay goes down, and now it's going to be Morning. He finds Dyrus, but again, the wild growth is strong enough, and Morning's now in trouble. He's going to get picked up. Bebe comes around. He's just not got the damage. A WildTurtle does. He's going to go for the reset. Gets on towards him. Wins his low. He fancies it. He goes for it. He hasn't got the range yet. He's only level 11, and they have to back away.
And we're seeing now the strengths of this TSM team composition as long as they stay together. If Wins goes in for a reset, even if Morning jumps in as the Yasuo, they can shut down the damage on that target with shields and allow WildTurtle to carry that fight. He doesn't even have items yet. This is only going to get worse for TPA.
And he is starting to go aggressive. You can see how confident Turtle is feeling, how confident the rest of the team is following as well. This is going very well for TSM. They spread that gold lead a little bit more. It's going to be 8,000. Wynn's trying to do what he can to clean up some wards with Jay. Now they need to gain control of the map so they can put some pressure on Team Solomid.
So TSM have that huge advantage, but TPA are going to try and create something here. They want to push this mid lane fast because TSM are all back to base.
Yeah, they went back to base and bought a house. Dyrus has a death cap right now. He is absolutely ridiculous as far as shielding goes. TPA will get this one small win, their first turn of the game, but boy, are they far behind.
Far behind indeed. Morning with the Hex Drinker and just the static Shiv right now. It is helpful. He can get some damage in, but we saw he got taken down quite quick in 3 people, and the team could not gather with him. So the front-end burst they usually would have is definitely a little lackluster at this point. The initiations become that much harder. 7-2, TSM starting to run amok on the map. Turtle's now going to start to take free farm. This is going to hurt.
Absolutely will do. TPA really, it seems even at this early stage, just have one simple way. They need to either trap TSM in the Baron Pit or the Dragon Pit and land the perfect ultimate for the Yasuo, followed by that rat-a-tat-tat from Bebe, and just need to catch them perfectly because there's just too much for TSM and they've just manhandled them.
Absolutely.
Sightstone for amazing already. He's building up armor. Wynn's can't get the attacks on him that he wants. The itemization coming in as they need it for Team Solomid. Bjergsen rolling with blue buff right now as they make their way through what is pretty much their jungle at this point, and hardly any contest for this top turret but a wind wall.
Yeah, TSM's going where they please right now. TPA does not want to engage on them, knowing how well they can shield. Never mind, they're going to try.
They're going for it. They're going to catch on towards Lustboy. He's taking the tower hits, but there's just so much, and the shockwave pulls them in. He goes for the reset. He gets one. He follows through. Can he get on Jay? Look at the crits. They're coming on through. They get the shock WildTurtle leaping into the base towers. It doesn't matter. They take themselves another turret. It's so easy for them right now.
That's exactly why I thought TPA wasn't going to try and do anything, because it won't work unless they can catch TSM out of position. The shields are too strong. TPA just strictly does not have enough damage right now compared to the defensive capabilities on TSM.
And this is also what we need to see, is that teams ahead are not afraid to keep going as well. They're going to take down Achie right here, a little too far out from the family, and he goes down by himself. TSM picking up single kills all over now.
They are absolutely on tilt right now. That's the only thing I can think of, because, you know, a play like that, actually just wandering through the forest.
Well, he's a tree.
With that's true. Without any ward, I mean, they got a ward there.
Hear me?
They could see that
Right.
TSM hadn't backed off. They knew that there was people around there. They just were simply blind checking. He'd got saplings. He didn't even bother tossing one in to find out. Dyrus has been caught out, though. He is in trouble. Now he's going to go down. Finally, they get themselves a kill. It's the first one in a while, that's for sure, but TPA got a long way to go yet.
Yeah, that was actually very sloppy play there by TSM. Dyrus was forced into sticking around there because if his presence was not there, it would have left a window for TPA to do the Baron. He basically had to sacrifice his life because TSM did not time their recalls appropriately. But that is but a small casualty towards the overall battle because they still have a 9,000 gold lead.
9,000 gold lead indeed. That burning a hole in their pocket. Bjergsen running an elixir of brilliance, and he has one in his inventory right now. Jay didn't want to be right there. Lustboy and Amazing, they were cutting grass in the brush, and they are also going to find something that they wanted. Achie's going to get kicked in. He just came out of base, gets put back down. Wait, can they cut the tree down? Turtle's going to get the reset. Jumps on the morning to make sure he can't get away. The Sapling's still trying to do what it can. Triple kill for the young Turtle, and they're going to go towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, and remember before when they had good team fights, that was before Turtle had good items. Now he's got an Infinity Edge, a Static Shiv, instance away from his last Whisper. TPA still doesn't really have that much more gold. It's only been TSM getting gold. TPA has been pretty much starved with 2 dead and 5 for TSM. This inhibitor is not long for this world.
I think WildTurtle's heard there's a bit of a KDA race on in the AD carries. Imp and Uzi having their own little battle. He wants in on that one. We'll see how it works out for him, because at the moment the first inhibitor is going to fall, and TSM very much in control. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if they take this game, which it looks like they will move on to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, even if they're missing that Braum Q, they're still going to be able to kill Jay. Turtle comes in late, and this is the one time he actually didn't have that much protection. But at this point, it didn't matter because TPA's collapse was a little bit slow. At this point, Lustboy zones the fight out for Morning. He's a squishy target. The nice wind wall is not enough to save him because Turtle doesn't have to do much but sidestep. And it was just TSM completely outnumbering TPA, something that is all too familiar this game.
Slow and methodical. They move up the map. If it's not the bottom, they take the middle. If it's not the middle, they just take anything they want right now. TSM doing a very nice job. They've only lost mid turret, and they are just pushing forward consistently. Randuin's almost finished up on Amazing to keep these fights going in their favor. TPA is not going to be able to get out of anything the Death Ball's bringing to the table. Right now, it's going to be the Baron attempt.
Sadly for the home crowd, they've definitely been silenced by the sheer amount of power that TSM have turned up with here for this matchup, and now they are just looking to close it out. 25 minutes into this game, I was not expecting it to be almost over by now. And for TSM fans out there, they're going to be wondering just how far can they go in this group?
The last shot of it.
What an amazing shockwave coming in. Bjergsen making the plays for his team. The double kill for WildTurtle as he starts to clean up. They're going to be able to get past the wall. A few more shots to come in. It's just the kick from Amazing, and they are focusing on the next inhibitor turret.
10-0-4, 2-0-9, WildTurtle and Bjergsen together, powering through this TPA team. They're about to clinch their spot in the quarterfinals.
Well, this was a quick one, that's for sure. Team Solomid fans, you have yourself a North American team into the quarterfinals. It's simply all about TSM dominating so far against TPA. That will be the Nexus turrets going down. They get themselves the ace, and they take themselves the game.
It only takes them 27 minutes here to finish off TPA. They might try to get a few more kills.
Oh, one last-ditch effort coming in from the Taipei Assassins. Turtle goes a little too hard. He goes down, but it is going to be Team Solomid taking down the Taipei Assassins.
Well, that was rather quick. What was expected to be a very competitive game turned into a TSM stomp.
Even being hesitant, they're getting their cheers.
Cool as a cucumber.
Cheers are still coming out.
Well, keep in mind here, while TSM has made it into the quarterfinals, they want more. They do not want to have to face the #1 seed out of Group A. They do not want to have to face Samsung White in the next round. So therefore, this is not the end of the battle for them. They still have to set their sights on SK at the end of the day, and then ultimately Starhorn Royal Club tomorrow. Because if they win both those games, they can still get first place in the group.
Yeah, that is absolutely the match to watch now in this group. Two teams already decided. Starhorn Royal Club and TSM both going through to the quarterfinals. Which position they will be, we will find out tomorrow. Keep your eyes on that one. WildTurtle, man, 11-1-6, I believe, at the end there. That one little damn, that's going to ruin his KDA, that's for sure.
Well, as far as the game is concerned, it doesn't affect it at all.
No.
Right? But for the overall tournament, that's still one more death. Honestly, I think that's going to do wonders for WildTurtle and Lustboy's confidence going in. Breaking out the Braum here. Lustboy's champion pool had yet to be tested, actually. I don't expect another team to test it because he had played pretty much nothing but Nami, which probably got people thinking, oh, he only plays passive, disengaged supports. He played a great Braum there. That was the most aggressive I've seen TSM play the laning phase, probably since they acquired Lustboy, to be honest. And it was effective. They need to do more of that as they move on.
Great movements around the map. Again,